Hi, my name is Yal Manager. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of APTV. Today I got Justine Buhrmann.
Yes.
Got it. From Gough Recruitment. Gough Recruitment is a leading recruiting company here in Australia.
In real estate and property,
In
yes.
real estate property particularly. Justine's going to talk to us about this problem that everyone's complaining about with staffing, finding staff that want to work, keeping staff, planning for the future, growth, etc. So please stay tuned for some really good insight, ideas, and advice, both for employers and employees in this tricky, unique,
unusual
time with staffing. Thank you. I've read an article that about 75% of businesses in Australia, their biggest challenge is staffing.
I think COVID has started the issue and continues to provide an issue.
What do you mean COVID started it?
Why did COVID start it?
COVID can't be the excuse for everything anymore.
Yeah. A lot of people left the country and haven't come back into the country, both immigration, students, backpackers, and we're all fighting over the same pool of people at the moment. So in the past, a cafe, for example, like this one, would have used backpackers as their staff. They don't have that opportunity, and so therefore we're fighting from that same talent pool. And that's been a big issue for us. There's been issues in each state in Australia. In Melbourne, for example, a lot of people fled the lockdowns in 2020 and 2021, and that had an impact on this state, as well as mandates and things like that have been a bit stricter here. But
are they coming back?
We still have the mandates in Victoria, but in New South Wales, for example, they don't have the mandate. So people have moved to Queensland, where there wasn't as many lockdowns, to New South Wales if they were not wanting to be in a state where there was mandates. But COVID has definitely been the impact.
And it's not just in waiting staff, or it's across everything.
Everything. So if you ring a law firm this afternoon, they will have the same issues as a cafe, as a retail store. Everyone is struggling to find staff. You know, law firms are struggling to find lawyers. We're all in the same boat. No one's different.
Some restaurants don't trade 7 days now for staffing issues. Some hotels are not releasing rooms because they don't have cleaning crews to clean them. Like, it's affecting a lot of things now. What's the answer?
The answer, look, I struggle with the same issues in running my own business. So, and it's a tough one to answer in some ways. I think at the moment, what I'm encouraging our clients to do, and it is expensive, and I know that's hard as we recover, for some businesses like restaurants who've been closed, for example, you have to try and overstaff your business a bit at the moment, if you can. Perhaps with that extra person on that you may not have been planning for, just in case you have some sort of turnover. We found that since COVID finished, there's been a great resignation around the world and in Australia.
Is that real, this great resignation the media is pushing?
Different in America, for example, than here, but it has been real. We've noticed a lot of clients are experiencing churn in 2022.
Well, just they want to change their life and
just reevaluated.
And they don't value an income, and they don't value stability.
The way people were treated through lockdowns. You know, I want to get out of here. I don't like this organisation, but a lot of people have reassessed.
But are they going to another job? On average, I'm talking generalisation.
Both. Yeah, other jobs, looking for a better employer because they've heard that this one looked after their staff during COVID, or they've just decided, I don't want to be a property manager anymore. I don't want to do retail anymore. People are rude for lots of reasons, yeah.
And you've seen a lot of this great resignation, people just being unemployed?
Not unemployed.
Like they're resigning to be unemployed.
Look, there's a lot of opportunities for people at the moment. So the ball is in the employee's court and people are making the most of that. So I heard a couple of weeks ago, a property client hired someone that used to wheel people into theatre as a building manager. So people are thinking, well, if I've got that opportunity to perhaps change careers because people are more flexible, I'll take that. So there's a bit of that too.
So other than overstaffing, what else can employers be doing to attract staff and keep their staff employed?
You've got to look after your staff. Culture, the team that they work for is really important to people, both young and old. It's, I think sometimes we think it's a younger thing. It's not. And a lot of clients will say to me, well, how do I do that? It can be as simple as just saying, how was your weekend? To someone, make them feel appreciated. Probably like being married. You can't take them for granted. And providing a great culture, looking after your team, but also to the outside world, providing information that makes your business more appealing, making sure that your social media has a great presence so that if someone was looking for a good job, they could look at our business, for example, and see us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, or our website and think, that looks like a great place to work. They're promoting it well, they look after their staff, posting things that your team are doing together, Easter egg hunts, whatever it is. They can be tiny things, but for people it can be a lot.
The actual core issue, there's no people who want to work. How are you going to fix that?
Look, there are people looking for jobs. It feels
But
like
not
there
enough
isn't.
for the amount of
Not
jobs
enough
that are
at
out
all.
there.
I don't disagree. There's a bigger issue at the moment in Australia. When the borders opened, I think we're all like, okay, here they come. They didn't come. People are still more frightened of COVID than perhaps we thought. And that has had an impact. People around the world aren't moving here as quickly as we had hoped. I think also, there's an uncertainty in the world too, perhaps with wars and things like that, people think I might just stay home at the moment. But you'll find that later on in the year that will ease. If the government could speed up the visas, that would be great. And perhaps incentivise with better marketing to come to Australia, tax cuts, that's out of our control though.
Yeah.
But at the moment, what I would say to people is always be looking for staff. In the past...
Even if you don't need it.
Yep. In 2019, if someone resigned, we started looking. That's how our business operates. People call me, someone resigned, can you find someone for me? Now, always be meeting with and looking for staff so that perhaps if you have a resignation next week, you've met someone this week and then you can give that person a call. I think that's probably a really good idea at the moment.
And where are wages going now?
Up.
How fast?
It's a supply and demand issue. Some jobs I'm seeing more than 10% increases.
From last year?
Correct, or from 2019.
Which is effectively last year in human life.
Pre-COVID, current COVID, after COVID. Yeah, definitely going up. So, and that's a challenge because, I'm a business owner and I know that, we're putting even our staff salaries up to make sure that we retain and people want to come and work for us. But that does put pressure on you. So, you have to have great staff to be able to afford that. So you've got that productivity and, you're getting that return. But it's a supply and demand issue. It's like when houses are for sale, if 10 people want to bid on it, you'll get a better price than when there's just one. And that's exactly what the issue is at the moment. There's only one buyer, there's one staff that you're interviewing. You also have to work quickly at the moment. So in the past, some clients like to interview people slowly and over, say, 3 weeks. You can't do that at the moment. You'll miss out. So you've got to speed up your process.
How fast do you want people to hire?
You can't be too fast. I don't like being too fast because
It's like
like
dating.
speed dating.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
You've got to be fast, but not too fast. I think if you want to do 2 or 3 interviews within a week or 2, absolute max. Anything longer than that. I had an application from Seek on Monday, which was Anzac Day. Came to work yesterday, called the guy in the morning and he'd accepted a job.
Wow.
So speed and impressing them and not, when you're interviewing people at the moment, you're selling yourself to them. In the past,
So
you used
it's
to be
turned around.
completely.
So you're trying to sell your business to an unemployed person as opposed to an unemployed person selling them to your business.
Correct. So someone will come and say, well, why should I work for you? And you have to sell why they could and why they would. It's very different.
Is this going to stay?
For the year, I would imagine.
And then you see things going back to
Nothing
normal?
stays forever. As you know, in retail, in recruitment, I've been doing it for 18 years now. There's cycles.
Is this the worst you've seen it yet as far as pressure on
In 18
employers?
years, this is the tightest it's ever been. In every industry, if I get in an Uber and I meet, an Uber driver, and this is what he used to be doing, and he's got 25 job interviews. It's just very normal at the moment in all sectors, at every business in Australia.
Which sector is feeling it the most?
I think retail probably would find it hard, as would restaurants, because at the moment what's very popular in the world is the hybrid working environment, working from home, working at the office. So in a
It's hard to serve
corporate
customers
job,
from home.
yeah, you can't serve customers from home. So if you're in retail, you're at the job 5 days a week, front facing. And that's a challenge because those sort of people are coming to us and saying, well, I saw that job you're advertising for an administrator that can work 2 days from home. So that does put pressure on those industries. But, there's still lots of people who will get into retail. You've just got to be the employer that they want to work for. And that's a challenge. It's not easy. But as I said, making sure that the interview process goes smoothly. You can't run late. You can't do things you used to do. You have to be there. You're impressing, you're dating them. You've got to advertise your business very well on social media and your website, etc. Make it seem like an appealing place to work.
What are the top 3 things that make your business appealing to work at?
At the moment, irrelevant to retail, but the hybrid home, working from home, working in the office, or customer facing does appeal to people. Not so much working for you in retail. Salary is a big one, and culture. It's culture.
How do you show a good
environment.
culture on social media?
The culture is the experience they come from the interview, but on social media, at Gough, which I own, our business, Gough Recruitment, everything we do with the team, we take photos of it and we advertise it, and we say, Melbourne team doing the Easter Bunny hunt, Melbourne team out for a winery because we achieved our budget. Whatever it is, anything that's, might just be like buying a little bunch of flowers for someone's birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Zolman, and advertising that to the world that you look after people. Because there's just too many options, and they're going to go to the one where they're the most looked after. And that's not always money. That can be little tiny things that are hard to measure, but are very important to people. Progression.
So career progression.
Yeah, so if you can go for an interview in retail and they know that they could be store manager in 6-12 months' time, that really appeals to people.
In retail, how are they incentivizing staff to come across?
I think it really depends on the business.
What's the most creative idea you've seen yet?
I haven't really seen too much creativity, unfortunately.
I've seen $1,000 to start.
A what?
Get $1,000 bonus to start.
Yep. And you can have that put into someone's contract that they have to stay there for a certain amount
Here's
of time.
$1,000 you can start next week.
Yeah.
They have to stay for 3 months.
Which in property is a sign-on bonus. You sign the contract.
Yeah, but they're doing it in retail or like starting jobs.
Yeah. I don't think people are as excited about those things. I think it's about the longer term for them than the short term, which is interesting because people turn over jobs quickly, but the longer term seems to appeal to them.
So you're confident by next year we'll be back to a more normal marketplace for employees?
Hoping.
Why are you hoping that? That's not good for your business.
How can Australia progress in leaps and bounds if you're
no
closing
staff?
a restaurant on Mondays because you don't have staff? There's parts of that as a business owner, I think that's not good. I know the economy in Australia is doing very well, but we need people working. Unemployment's never been so low, ever, which is a great thing.
And are people getting paid more?
They are getting paid more, yes, for sure. And that's just supply and demand. So, the ball's in the employee's court, and they're making the most of that.